So here's how I'd suggest you play Domineering. It's another interesting mathematical game using a Google drawing. So I've got a master empty square and a master filled square. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this empty square. Ooh, I moved it a little, that doesn't matter. I'm going to Control C and Control V. Copy and paste however you like to do it, but I like to do it with the keyboard. It doesn't have to line up, although lining up will eventually be good. Okay, so I'm just going to put it anywhere. And so the first phase of domineering is you make a board. So one player makes the board, or you agree on a board. That matters, but you can do either version. Okay, that's still selected, so I'm going to do Control V again. Oh, let's put it back here. That's fine. And I'm just going to drag it, and it helps to align it. It has these little red align things. And I'm just going to do a bunch of Control Vs just to paste a bunch of copies. So you make a board, which is a grid kind of any way you want to put these boxes together. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do Control C, Control V, so it'll show up closer. It's a little easier. And I'm just going to make a kind of a funky grid. And part of the interesting thing of domineering is how does the shape of the grid, that's most of the interest, is how does the shape of the grid you make affect how the game goes and whether, like player 1 is more likely to win or player 2 is more likely to win, or does somebody have a guaranteed win if they have a good strategy, that kind of thing. Okay, so there's this kind of funky random board. Make your own, be creative, make it small to start with, make it bigger later. So that's the starting game board that I've chosen, or that I've chosen with my partner. Then you have to figure out who goes first. That's up to you guys. And then to play the game, it's very simple. It's called domineering because it's like you're having, you actually have physical dominoes that you put down. And one player always plays them horizontally, and the other player always plays them vertically. And that's another thing you have to choose. And there's some boards where it might be pretty obvious which one is better. And I'm going to leave that up to you in terms of how to negotiate what's your rules for making those decisions. Okay, so suppose that horizontal goes first. So how do we do that? We just need to so a domino is going to fill 2 of these next to each other, and the horizontal player it just basically fills in 2 horizontal squares. So we could either delete these, or I think if we delete them, it's a little confusing because then you don't even know, you can't recover what the board looked like at the start. Although I don't think there's anything horribly wrong with that. But what I'm going to say, here's a cool thing you can do. That's where I'm going to use this black square. I'm going to highlight the black square. I'm going to do paint format, and then click on a square I want to make black. And that takes that format and paints it there. It's a nice little tool. And then, now that's highlighted, I'll just do paint format again. Boom. So about 4 clicks, and you've painted in a domino. Okay, now the next player is vertical. So there's still a black selected. If not, just select that standard one. Paint format, and maybe that player is going to take maybe this and this. Paint format again. Not too hard. Okay. Now it's back to horizontal's turn. Okay. Can't play there, unfortunately. Now vertical can't play here at all. So there's no hurry for horizontal to play here. So horizontal's going to play here. And then vertical has lost the game. And in fact, horizontal even has some spares that he doesn't have to use. So with domineering, the last player to make, as with all these games, the last player to make a legal move wins. And this was definitely something where horizontal seemed to have an advantage, or at least vertical didn't overcome that kind of advantage.